Levorg, the all-wheel drive tourer from Subaru.
Here is the Levorg. It comes with a 2-litre injection flat 4, also known as a boxer, and a lineartronic gearbox.
This model is the 2-litre injection GT and retails at just under £31,000. And why not accessorise with anything from a roof box to parking sensors?
It's a beautiful looking estate car. It's got Subaru's signature EyeSight and it's got permanent symmetrical all-wheel drive, so you know you're in good hands. This model also uses the new lineartronic gearbox. It's very good too. This is the GT trim, meaning lots of leather, blue sporty stitching, flat bottom steering wheel, even 18-inch alloy wheels.
Also comes with LED headlamps with high beam assist, and it has cornering 2 and pop-up headlamp washers, great for when you're off-road.
If you want an estate car or a wagon, the Levorg is definitely one to look at. It's got beautiful body lines, side skirts and an aggressive front too.
Speaking of that, I'll be looking at the exterior and the styling.
I'll be taking a look at the interior, the practicality, the functionality.
We will then both be driving it, and then I will give you the verdict on whether or not this is the wagon for you.
Now thank you guys. Remember to like, subscribe and comment on the video. It all does help. Thank you.
Coming around to the front of the vehicle, the first thing you notice is the sporty look, with the chrome on the insert around this grille, matched by the chrome insert around the vent and the fog light, gives it a very streamlined look. You have a sloping bonnet, you have the large Subaru badge, and you have sculpted front lenses. The Subaru Levorg is chock full of safety features, including EyeSight. Now, what is Subaru EyeSight, I hear you say? It's their safety system that includes lane keep assist, blind spot detection, active cruise control, and a host of other things. Combine that with LED headlamps with high beam assist and a corner with headlamp washers. It's a formidable setup. Nice and handy because did I mention that it's all-wheel drive, so you can take it off-road too. Coming around to the side of the vehicle, the first thing you notice are the 18-inch alloy wheels. It does have a low profile tyre, but this doesn't compromise on comfort. Even though it's all-wheel drive, it's a slightly lower ride height, which means you really do need to keep a slight eye out on your side skirts if you are off-roading. It comes with power folding heated door mirrors that have blind spot detection. Keyless entry. The chrome is continued down the side of the glass here, and it's got a black pillar and privacy glass. From this angle you can really see the sloping roofline, which adds to the sporty look, and the chrome insert is continued at the bottom of the window. If you're looking for a sporty estate car, or dare I say wagon, the Subaru Levorg may be the car for you. Very nice. Coming around to the rear of the vehicle, the first thing you notice is this large sculpted sporty bumper. It's got carbon fibre style diffusers at the bottom and twin chrome exhausts. You've got your Subaru badge here, you're reminded that it is Levorg, and it tells you that it's got the Subaru signature symmetrical all-wheel drive system. The chrome insert is continued at the bottom of the boot. You've got sculpted rear lenses, and you've got a spoiler here with a high-level brake light and a shark fin aerial. It also comes with a reversing camera, but neither the front nor the rear have parking sensors.
Climbing into the Levorg is simplicity. As you can see, the doors open nice and wide. Surprisingly, because it's not the highest ride height in the world, it's not too low. When it comes to tech on this car, you've got all-round electric windows, power folding heated door mirrors with blind spot detection. You can disable your traction control here. You can adjust your dash brightness here. And look, an engine start stop button with a lovely chrome surround. We've got automatic headlamps, which corner and have high beam assist as well, rain sensing wipers. When it comes to the steering wheel, active cruise control on the right and SI drive. That tweaks some of the car's settings. Your fuel computer's controlled here and your media control here. There's also paddles on the back of the wheel too. You've got very clear dials, speedo on the right, fuel computer in the centre. A nice addition on this model is the heads-up display here. It gives you 5 lights. So when you go into active cruise control, you get a green light. With your lane keep assist, if you go over one of the lines, a light will illuminate there. There's also a red light there for, I assume, emergency braking and that kind of thing. And your warning signals below there, things like collision detection. When it comes to this bad boy, this will give you lots of information such as the angle of the vehicle, economy, and other interesting stats, controlled using this little button here. Below that you have the infotainment screen, and yes, that is a CD player. Decent system, comes with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Subaru Starlink, DAB radio and satellite navigation, or if you prefer you can use things like Waze through your smartphone. You can also set some of the car's settings there as well. Down here you've got your 3 dials for your air conditioning, which is dual mode, front windscreen demister, rear demister and other shortcut buttons. Below that, USBs, auxiliary port and a 12-volt socket, your lineartronic gearbox with park, reverse, neutral, drive and manual, the AVH button, power handbrake with hill start assist. It's also got start stop too, you can disable that here, and heated seats. When it comes to practicality, I'm 6'3". As you can see, I've got ample headroom, I've got lots of leg room as well. This is a fully electric seat. One thing that you need to know, how to release your petrol cap. The bonnet release is there as well. It's very comfortable in here. Leather wrapped steering wheel, feels very nice to the touch. Reach and rake adjustment. Lovely place there where you can rest your arm. It's leather wrapped and it's cushioned too. The seats are buckety and they do hold you exceptionally well, but they're comfortable as well. When it comes to storage, you've got decent sized door bins where you can fit a bottle of water. You've got 2 cup holders, rubber grips here and a sliding door too. Storage where the USBs and the 12-volt socket, enough for say a mobile phone, and a leather wrapped armrest with a large storage area and a 12-volt socket as well. And this is a perfect place for either the key or a mobile. Glove box, decent size. Let's take a look in the back. Lovely materials again. Nice and easy to step in. Nice wide opening door. Once I'm in here, I've got just about enough legroom, but the seat is set up for me and I'm 6'3". When it comes to headroom, I've got a little bit. As I mentioned before, headroom is a bit restricted, but Subaru have thought about that. You can recline the seats, giving you more headroom. It's very comfortable in here, it's very well finished, premium materials like the front, soft touch plastic, nice storage pocket, it's big enough to hold a bottle and a small snack, electric window, nice padded area for your arm here. It's not too dark with the privacy glass, even though it hasn't got a sunroof. When it comes to passengers, 2 would be very comfortable, 3 on shorter journeys, and 3 children absolutely no problem. You've got ISOFIX points as well, and there's airbags up there. The quality of the finish in the back of here is exquisite. I mean, just look at this blue stitching and plush leather. Mobility handles as well above each door, which is perfect, including the driver's door. Pockets on the back of the seats, 2 USBs here with a handy little cover. And look at this pull down armrest. 2 cup holders, nice surround and very sturdy too. There's lots of lovely touches on this car. Subaru kick plates, alloy pedals, even an alloy footrest. When it comes to the boot of the car, you unlock it using the button on the key fob. Now, one thing I did expect to see on this is a power tailgate. Nevertheless, great storage, no boot lip, got a nice square space, 522 litres. If you drop the seats, that'll increase to 1,446 litres. Quite easily get a couple of mountain bikes in there. But overall, the 522 litre size boot is great for luggage. You can see the tripod and the slider in there look dwarfed in the boot. A light here, which pushes in, loads of storage, and I do mean lots of storage. You've got some tools in here. Inflation kit here with more storage. The vehicle also has 4 tethering points and little cargo nets on either side for storage. Welcome to the Subaru Levorg. Now, we know this car back to front pretty much. We've done around 600 miles in the last 5 days.
Yeah. We've been on many road trips, haven't we, Ben?
We have, yeah. Well, we've been down to Farnborough and back, and then I took it to Blackpool Illuminations, so I've got an Illuminations video as well in the Levorg.
That sounds sweet. Apologies for the voice, it may go completely, but I'll do my best.
It's pretty good for me, to be honest, but...
Yeah. Well, speak for yourself. So this Levorg, Ben, it's got a 2-litre GT engine, isn't it? It's petrol.
Yeah, 2-litre injection, flat 4, otherwise known as the Boxer. The engine generates around 149 PS, and and develops 198 Newton meters of torque.
And it's got a lineartronic gearbox now. How does that compare to the last version, or the last model I should say?
Well,
because I haven't driven that.
The last lineartronic gearbox was not the most responsive thing in the world, whereas this is far more responsive. I found a little trick that if you floor it from a junction, the likelihood is you are not going to get a catapult start, whereas if you almost feather the acceleration, then it will pull away quite nicely. You've also got S and I drive, sorry.
So I was about to say, having driven it myself, I found that just pulling away didn't really seem to have that much lag. Mind you, I don't stomp on it like you do.
No, but you can't stomp on it with a lineartronic gearbox because it's built for economy rather than speed. I'm sure I've heard something similar to that in a movie.
Yeah. I found just as I slowed down and, as you were saying, feathered it, it just picked up and moved off really nicely. For such a, for me, for such a long car. Because it's an estate car, I found the turning circle actually really quite neat.
Yeah, it's not a bad car to manoeuvre at all.
No.
It doesn't have parking sensors, weirdly, but it does have a reversing camera.
That did help.
Right.
So in terms of fuel consumption, I know it says that we should get between 34 and 39, but we were getting about 35, weren't we? At points.
Well, we got around, I think the highest we got was about 37.
Yeah, it did.
Now, there's one thing,
quite well.
I'll just jump in now.
All right.
Now, this is a Subaru, right? So you expect them to have a high ride height, whereas Levorg doesn't really. I mean, it's not to the point that it's like a lowered racing car, but it's not the highest vehicle in the world, but it still has permanent all-wheel drive.
It does indeed.
But I've just noticed driving it down the shore, I'm a lot more kid gloves with it than I would be, say,
in an SUV or that
the
kind
Outback,
of thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
But it looks sporty, doesn't it, with its side skirt?
It does. And even though
be a little more careful.
Even though it has a lower profile tyre on it, it's not really compromising on comfort going over this kind of terrain.
No, the suspension's very good on this car as well. That's it. It is comfortable, but it will still give you an engaging drive, and you can really have some fun. It's very capable over different terrains as well.
Just keep an eye out for your side skirts.
It's a nice steering experience as well. What do I mean by that? Well, look at this lovely leather wrapped with blue stitching, and it's flat bottomed as well. And this car, as you can see, look,
it's very, it's
not the lightest steering in the world, but that's what I want.
You want it to tighten up, yeah.
Well, exactly. I want it to tighten up when I'm doing more spirited driving. But saying that, doing manoeuvring, it's nicely light.
Power-wise, go on, give it a bit of a blip, Ben. There we go. A lot of power there, feeling it through the gears there as it's coming up. There's still power in each one.
When you're driving straight through the windscreen.
Yes. As you say, it's like a
well, that's it. You don't look at the fuel computer. You look heads-up display at the front of the windscreen. The lights are there. When you're in active cruise control, if it sees a car in front, it will literally light the green beam. It's four-wheel drive. It handles exceptionally well. It really does. You get great feedback through the steering. And if you know how to drive with the lineartronic box, it can be quite nippy too. Just feels extremely well planted. It can be a bit noisy, but when you learn how the new box works, it doesn't have to be. It can be quite quiet.
As passengers, very little body roll because we're not going that slowly at the moment on a back road.
No, we're doing the national speed limit.
Exactly. It's very comfortable, and especially for long journeys, it's a really, really good system.
Great brakes as well.
And yet they're very responsive.
Electronic handbrake as well with hill start assist. Lots of toys and tech on this car. Going back to the heads-up display, as you know, this car has lane keep assist, so those lights amber if you cross over your line. It will also try and steer you back in. Strangely enough, our economy is now going up. Now I'm driving fast. What a great car. Yeah, it's comfortable, it's roomy, it's about 30 grand, so it's great value, and it's very practical.
It's ticking all the boxes, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, when you think it's an estate car and it's got lots of room, you really don't appreciate how much room there is until you start stacking things in the boot.
Well, that's the thing,
we
Subaru
did.
have always made big estate cars. I remember when I was at college, I was thinking, ooh, I'd love one of those, and that was just a 2-litre petrol, and it wasn't the turbo or anything like that, and it was just a great car. I never did buy it because I couldn't actually afford it at the time. But one thing I do remember is it had like the Farmer Edition cloth seats. Today, the seats are far more luxurious, full of leather, blue stitching, more like Imprezas. So now we've got rain sensing wipers that are activating nicely now. Automatic LED lights. In case you're unfamiliar with EyeSight, Annabelle's just going to reel off a couple of the options that are in it.
EyeSight is chock full of safety features. It includes adaptive cruise control, pre-collision braking, pre-collision throttle management, lane sway and departure warning, lane keep assist, and lead vehicle start alert. We also have rear vehicle detection system, which gives you blind spot monitoring, lane change assist, and rear cross traffic alert.
You can just potter around villages.
Well, that's normally my speed, isn't it? Potter, 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 potter.
It is.
And I have to say, I have potted quite nicely.
The thing
On
is,
my
it
little
doesn't
journeys.
skip gears or
Not at
anything.
all.
It's just,
It's smooth.
yeah, the fluidity
Oh, that's the word for it. Smooth. Yeah.
is quite phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just literally going along at 12 miles an hour, and it's not
Skipping a beat at all.
It's not
is it?
struggling to find gears or anything like that, but I can still apply power if I need to. Like all Subarus, in the centre you've got this area here, and that houses a second screen.
Which holds the fuel computer, and it even tells you the angle of the car. Underneath that, you've got your infotainment system, which is sat nav, DAB radio, and apps. You plug and play with your smartphone. You've got Spotify, you've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Great sound system, banging tunes, and you've got your aircon underneath.
Oh, you can set some of the car's settings as well.
Yeah. One thing to note, when you're setting your cruise control, it doesn't go below 20. I've tried to set it lower than that, but it won't.
Environment in the cabin is good. You will get a bit of road noise, but it does depend on the surface. Listen to that growl. That was 6,500 revs. It really does feel planted. Mind you, Subaru make rally cars and racing cars, so it makes perfect sense that the Levorg would feel like this.
Oh, that's a growl.
They've just unveiled at the Tokyo Motor Show the Levorg prototype, and get this, it's powered or likely to be powered by a 1.8 turbocharged engine. Now, whether it's manual or auto remains to be seen.
Check out our videos on the Forester, e-Boxer, and the XV.
With a 2-litre petrol boxer engine coupled to a lineartronic CVT, the Levorg is one of the safest cars on the road today, as it features permanent symmetrical all-wheel drive and Subaru's EyeSight. It's Euro 6 and NCAP 5 too. This model is the 2-litre injection GT and retails at just under £31,000, and it's versatile, exhilarating to drive, comfortable yet sporty. Features include 18-inch alloy wheels, all-round ventilated disc brakes, LED headlights with high beam assist, front view and reversing cameras, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay to name but a few. You can accessorise to your heart's content, with choices including front and rear parking sensors, kayak attachments, a bicycle rack with a 13-pin socket, or you can choose a Barracuda roof bike holder, a boot flap, and the list goes on. With great features, fantastic safety, and a 5-year warranty as standard, the Subaru Levorg is an outstanding estate car.